Hello everyone, and welcome to the so-called Wisdom of Sage, which in truth does not contain any kind of wisdom. This show will be about me rambling something about some game. You've seen the title, so you know what this video will be about. So for the fourth episode we are going to experience the original Digimon World. Digimon World is a video game by Bandai on the PlayStation 1 released in 1999. It was followed by various sequels released for the PlayStation and other platforms. The story focuses on a human brought to File City on File Island by Jijimon to save the island. Digimon have been losing their memories and becoming feral, and the city has fallen into disarray. The goal of the player, who is represented by an unnamed young boy, is to save the island by helping Digimon recover their memory and return to the city. So, first thing to mention is that I have never played these older Digimon games. Mostly I have just played some DS titles, Cyber Sleuth Collection, and one that probably is closest to this game, the Digimon World Next Order. And actually that is the game that inspired me to try out this game. I always put off the original Digimon World as I have been worried that it would be too much for me, with its complex mechanics and all the grinding you have to do. But after completing and enjoying a lot the Next Order, I feel that I am now ready to tackle this game. I've seen some videos about this game online and I think I can get into the mechanics with enough time. I'm writing the script though before I have started, so we will see how is this going to go. But hey, without further ado, let's get started with the game. So, off we are with the beginning cutscene. Gotta say that this old CGI make this looks much more horror-y than it probably is intended. Well anyway, the events here are pretty straightforward. I'm a kid who gets sucked into the digital world, where I meet some Digimon and get explained what is going on here. My guy seems pretty chill about all this. I know if this would have happened to me as a little kid, I would have freaked out. As said earlier, the story here is that Jijimon wants this File City back to business by getting Digimon back here, and I guess that's why he summoned me here. Game does not explain me much more than that. Basically it gives me Agumon and tells me to go venture. So I start by looking around the city, but there is not much here at the moment. This Digimon tells us about the surrounding areas, and Dejimon here gives us free meat to feed to Agumon, which is nice. Good to know at least where to get food so my Digimon won't starve. I want to be careful to avoid all care mistakes as possible, at least for now. Because I learned the hard way from the Next Order that these things have great impact on how Agumon will digivolve. I found a gym where I can train Agumon's stats with various training methods. This will be an important place and I'm going to probably spend a lot of time here. I quickly test it out, but for now I want to see what is our starting point regarding the combat. So I head to the forest surrounding the city and immediately we are challenged by another Agumon. Well, this fight seems just to be just kind of a tutorial as it is not offering much of a challenge. After we win we get this Agumon to join to live in the city where he opens the facility where we can leave our items for deposit. I guess that will come handy in time. I try to explore the forest area a bit more, but these Modoki Petamons keep fighting back. They are beatable still for our untrained Agumon here, but when you are fighting them back to back the damage starts to rack up. So I probably have to train Agumon a little bit at least. Oh, also Agumon needs to poop once in a while. Thankfully they have a toilet in the city, would be pretty messy otherwise. I hope though that there would be those portable toilets from Next Order in this one as well, but that might be just wishful thinking. Anyway, let's do some training. I don't honestly know that which stats I should train and how much, but for now I try to train them all evenly. I explore around the forest and some areas around it, and in this tunnel area there is some kind of ambush from 3 Goburimon, so I escape from there quickly. For now, Agumon is strong enough to handle these red Vegimon in the forest, which gives me confidence. After a fight with Tsukaimon, Agumon finally starts to digivolve. Okay, fingers crossed here, let's see. I can't believe it. I literally got the worst possible outcome. I have no idea what I did wrong with the training and I believe I did only one care mistake. Maybe I have to check some guides online. Well, whatever the case, we are stuck with Numemon. And worst thing is, his stats are worse than what Agumon had. I tried to fight this Kunemon here, but I have no shot. For some reason I cannot even escape from this fight. I guess this is some important fight that you cannot run away from. So this leads to Numemon to lose the fight. Losing the fight makes Numemon lose one of those hearts. I reckon that if all 3 hearts are lost, the Digimon dies and respawn as Digitama. So we are in a bad shape here with Numemon. I guess my only option is to train more before I can do anything with this thing. Honestly though, this sucks so much, but I'm nothing if not resilient, so I shall march forward. So yeah, as mentioned, Numemon absolutely sucks. At the moment it cannot even handle fights Agumon could. Even the freaking Modoki Petamon is giving it hard time. My plan is to train it, test it against enemies once in a while, and rinse and repeat until it looks like it can hold its own. Honestly, I really don't mind at all if this Numemon would just die before it can get anything done. Any Digimon is better than this thing. And it's hungry all the time, but I'm not going to waste that much food on this thing. One positive side is that it eats its own poop, recycling for the win. So, I'm trading, and slowly but surely Numemon is getting a little stronger. Once I feel maybe this is going somewhere, he dies. That was surprisingly fast. Maybe he died so soon because I was really not focusing too much taking care of it. Oh well, this is probably for the better. I get to choose now a new Digitama, and I think the first one is Potamon, so I take that hoping that I get new chance with Agumon. With newly hatched Potamon, I head to the Green Gym next, and it does not take it long to Digivolve to Koromon and from there back to Agumon. Okay, let's try to do this right this time and get some worthwhile Digivolution. I train Agumon's stats as evenly as I can and try to get them as high as possible. I'm worried that this might not be the way to go about this, but let's see how this goes. I get all stats above their hundreds and then the time for Digivolution has come. Okay, let's see it and pray the Digimon God it's not Numemon. And it's Monochromon. I don't know have I ever been this relieved about anything. Monochromon is really good, I would think, and it got pretty good stat boosts, especially for defense. Alrighty then, let's go see what this bad boy can do. And oh yeah, this is definitely working well. Regular enemies in native forest are no problem for our Monochromon at all. With him I'm able to handle the Kunemon and get it to join the city. Alright, let's explore more of the areas. Next up I find this Palamon who also wants to fight. Well, Monochromon has no issues winning thankfully, and Palamon also now joins the city. I move forward and find this tree with a door on it, but nothing seems to happen when interacting with it. I guess we can't do anything with this for now. Same with this lake area, nothing to hear for now it seems. Alright, so I head back to the drill tunnel next. From here I find this Trimogemon and we have to fight it. I was a bit worried as this is first champion level Digimon we have to face, but it goes alright. I guess Trimogemon is really slow as it really was not able to fight back as Monochromon just kept bashing it with attacks. After the win, Trimogemon starts digging the tunnel. I investigate the rest of the areas here and there are other Trimogemon digging the tunnel as well. I would assume that at some point they get some progress done and maybe some new areas could get unlocked with that, but we'll see I guess. For now I return to the city. Palmon has gone to the meat farm and is now offering to us giant meat. Palmon gives 3 for free daily and we can also buy giant meat for 500 bits per piece. Pretty good stuff as it seems that champion level Digimon seems to get more hungry than earlier Digivolution levels. Okay, so now I have no idea where to proceed with the game, but I hope I figure it out soon. I go around exploring all the areas I can find, but the only thing I am finding is this Trimogemon in the drill tunnel who wants me to move dirt away from the tunnel for him. It said it speeds up getting the tunnel ready, but I'm not sure if that is actually the case. Well, moving this dirt actually gives us money and some stat training for Monochromon, so I guess that's nice. Honestly though, I don't know what else I could do here. Maybe I just have to wait until this tunnel is ready or something else happens? After an embarrassingly long time though, I found out that I can get to this Koala Point area from south of Kunemon's bed. Tsunamon from the village advised that some Digimon can appear here in the afternoon, so I have to wait until that I guess. Once I arrive back in the afternoon, a Koalamon appears and it helps us to get to new area, Tropical Jungle. From here I find my way actually to the bridge that was under construction previously, but is now all fixed up. That's great, as we now have a way from village straight to the tropical jungle. I go back to the Koala Point and talk to Koalamon, and now it wants to move to the city, so it does just that. Alright, time to explore the jungle. First I find my way to this mangrove area which have this champion Digimon around. Don't remember this guy's name. I don't know how strong they are, so I just avoid them and move to next area. Here someone calls us intruders and kinda threatened to shoot me, but I just ignore that. Hey, the dude just actually shot me! Well, screw that, I'm out of here. I go around to the other part of Mangrove area where I find this Betamon who, after a chat, decides to join the city as well. Splendid! From here I go check out the areas of Jungle. I fight this Yanmamon who actually is not tough to beat thankfully. Up here is Great Canyon entrance which seems to be dead end for now. At this point I return quickly to city to see that Koelamon and Betamon have set up a shop there. I can now buy all kind of stuff from them, including healing items, which is great. Next I head north from the jungle to find this Overdale area. This Dark Lizamon is putting up quite a fight, but I beat it after a while. Though I think 2 against 1 is a bit too much for me, so I make my escape now. Maybe I have to do some training before taking on those guys. Okay, so after a bit training we handle those two rather easily. Behind them is an area called Overdale Cemetery, and at the end of it is some kind of mansion. However, some force is blocking me to enter there. Well, I guess we can't get there now. On the other exit of Overdale is just the Great Canyon entrance. I decide to check back to Amida Forest and see if I can get anywhere there with the guy shooting at us. And nope, the shooting deals so much damage that I just can't progress here at all. Next I head back to the drill tunnel to see that the Dimogomon here has finished digging this tunnel. It's just this big rock is blocking the way, so Monochromon gets the rock out of the way and we can move to new area. At the end of this lava cave I meet Meramon and it wants to fight apparently. Now I was not prepared for the fight and Monochromon did not have that good HP/MP situation going in, but with the help of recovery items it takes out Meramon slowly but surely. Afterwards I convince Meramon to join the city and it opens a restaurant in town. While I am heading back to Drill Tunnel, I was thinking of seeing is there anything else new here. I noticed that new pathway has opened, so I go investigate that way. After a fight with 2 Goburimon, Monochromon starts to Digivolve. Oh god, I'm a bit worried here. But the outcome this time is Metal Mamamon. Now, I'm not sure how good or bad this is, but looking at the stats I would say this was okay outcome. Though one unfortunate thing is that it only has 1 attack that is quite weak damage wise. Metal Mamamon can still put up a good fight against enemies here, so let's just move on. So, after exploring around here a while we enter to Gear Savannah. Fights here are going well, which gives me confidence to continue onwards. In this area we see Goburimon chasing Patamon. Right when I'm about to go help, Leomon jumps in and scares off the Goburimon. I follow the path where Leomon goes and it tells me it is trying to find something. That's pretty vague, but I guess we have to help it to get to join the city. I explore around the Gear Savannah and I find this big ass door which I cannot open though at the moment. Next area I find is Trash Mountain, which seems to be led by this huge Sugamon wearing crown. Can't really see anything to do here either. Metal Mamamon is in a bit rough shape after all the battles here, but I venture to this Gecko Swamp area. Enemies here are starting to be a bit trouble, especially when fighting 2 against 1. I'm using a lot of recovery items to win these fights, so maybe I should do some more training again. So I train Metal Mamamon a little bit, but not too much though to waste too much time. Yuramon gives me a hint about some invisible bridge at the Great Canyon entrance, so I head to investigate this rumor. Wouldn't you know, apparently there truly is invisible bridge which we can cross to get to new area. Here I find a Monochromon running a shop and it asks us to help him with the shop, I guess. This starts some kind of minigame and I have no idea what to do here. Monochromon said that it wants to make as much money as possible, so as Digimon are coming to buy stuff, I try to get as good price as possible from the products that I sell. I feel like I'm doing a good job, but by the end of it, nothing much really happens. I wonder if that's all, or should I try to achieve some certain amount of profit to possibly get Monochromon to join the city? Well, I'm not going to focus on that for now, let's explore a bit further. I find this elevator which I can use to go up, and that leads me to this bird nest. Pretty quickly a Birdramon appears to fight us. Newly trained Metal Mamamon wins the fight pretty quickly though. We invite Birdramon to city and it actually flies us back there immediately. Well, this works as I was planning to return to city soon anyway. Birdramon now offers us a lift to different areas for a fee. But for now it apparently can only take us to Great Canyon. Guess we unlock more areas to travel later. I keep trying to get the better profits for that Monochromon in its shop, but so far no luck to get it to join the city. I also investigate around more the canyon area and I end up being jumped by Ogremon and 2 Agumon. Metal Mamamon handles them quite easily and they all just run away. I fight this Freezeland area, but enemies here seems pretty tough, so I might have to get stronger before checking this place out. On my way in the tropical jungle, Metal Mamamon's time has finally come and it passes away. Salute to you for all the good work, my friend. This time I changed to other Digitama and this Punimon hatches from the egg. Time to see what this guy digivolves into. So, Punimon digivolves to Tsunamon and from there Penguinmon, which is pretty neat. And then Penguin digivolves to...
So what the actual
Time to see how fast we can kill a Digimon. Just exhaust yourself and die! Oh, come on, why are you digivolving? Oh, yeah, that's so much better. Oh, finally dead to impress this hideous creature. Alright, so let's try that again. Alright, so this time around Tsunamon digivolves to Electmon and from there to Leomon. Now that's more like it. Leomon seems to be able to handle nearby areas with relative ease. We still have no luck with Monochromon though. I also tested out how the fishing works, but I was not able to catch anything, so I still don't quite understand it. So, well, I completely wasted Leomon's lifespan trying to make enough profit for the Monochromon and still no luck. You know, this starts to feel like too much like real world. Anyway, I tried myself new Leomon and makes it as strong as I have patience for now. Still can't get into this mansion here, but this Pokemon apparently wants to join the city, even though I have no idea what it is saying. Anyway, I go explore a bit to the canyon and find this dead end here. Looks like there is some elevator there, so maybe I could access that somehow from different area. I head down to the lower area of the canyon and from there I actually find my way to this ogre fortress. Sounds like this is that Ogremon's hideout. I go through the area beating some Gabumon and Agumon on the way and soon we face the Ogremon himself. It actually has pretty good amount of HP, which worries me a bit. Thankfully I can tank hits pretty well and looks like Ogremon attacks hurt its fellow Agumon and they go down pretty soon because of that. After that, taking out the Ogremon is just a matter of time. Apparently though that was not last of it, as it just escapes and I run after it. I found myself on the other side of this place which I saw earlier. I go forward across this bridge area and then I hear some voice. Sounds like someone's in trouble and it might be because of something we did at the fortress. Before I head back to investigate, I head back to town to rest and stock up some recovery items. It looks like it is this Selmon here that needs our help, but I'm not sure how. I go explore the Freezeland area. Enemies here are a bit tough, but nothing Leomon couldn't handle. I was able to find some stat boosting items from the Ogre Fortress, which made him quite a bit stronger, which helps out naturally. From the Freezeland I find this Ice Sanctuary, which has this statue that looks a lot like Angemon for me. Leomon finds some secret pathway underneath the statue, but here the enemies looks to be tough ones as there are some ultimate Digimon here, so I'm just going to get away from here and return here at some point once I'm stronger. I explore more of the Freezelands and find this Garurumon who wants to fight. It is really tough enemy and I have to use all my recovery items to keep Leomon alive. In the end though, I barely win the fight. Garurumon wants to rematch us and tells us to come back next day. At this point I return to the city for some rest. I think I figured out how to help the Selmon now. As the elevator from the fortress seems to be the issue, I circle back to the elevator upper entrance and go down with it. I then circle back by going through fortress and to the other entrance to Freezelands, so I can get back to Selmon from there. And wouldn't you know, that worked out and Selmon now joins the city. Garurumon has not returned yet where I first found it, so I guess I have to come back here later. Later on, Garurumon respawns and we start the rematch. Thing here is though, I didn't realize I cannot use items to Leomon during the fight and I was not prepared for that. I had taken some beating already before the fight, so what ends up happening is that Leomon loses the fight and loses one heart. Lose all three and it's back to Digitama. Well, at least I know now to prepare myself. So I head back with full HP and full MP. The fight is still pretty rough, but this time Leomon gets the win and Garurumon joins the city. I return to town, and once I exit from the Jijimon's house, this Greymon appears out of nowhere and wants to fight us. Well, that's just great. Leomon has about 700 HP and I quickly run out of recovery items, so this Greymon just completely wrecks us. Well, there goes the second heart, which is just awesome. Thankfully Greymon seems to be gone for now, so we don't have to worry about a rematch. I decide I might want to train Leomon a bit stronger, but what ends up happening is that it just dies. Maybe because of those two hearts that I lost? It's a shame as I would have liked to get Ultimate Digimon, but alas, no such luck. This time I pick different Digitama and this Poyamon hatches from the egg. Time to grind this thing then. The Digivolution route for us goes this time from Poyamon to Tokomon, then to Patamon and finally... To Tyrannomon? A little bit odd, but sure, I'll take it. I have to grind stats and a lot of food at the moment, as I lost most of my giant meat when I lose those 2 hearts before. Yeah, some of your items just get stolen when you lose a match. What a fun mechanic. I have this issue that every time my champion Digimon dies before I can get it to Digivolve to Ultimate, and I'm not quite sure why. This time I picked the last Digitama, which ends up Digivolving to Palamon. Let's see if I can get an Ultimate this time. Well, short answer is no, I get another Numemon. Okay, this is going nowhere, so I just return to you once I get something to get some progress done. I return to raise good old Agumon. This time I am able to Digivolve it to Greymon. At this point I'm honestly looking guys online and it looks like I cannot get ultimates that easily at this point. So I decide to ignore that Greymon fight for now and do something else for the time being. I head to the surrounding areas of Mount Panorama, and here I notice that Drimongmon has finished building a tunnel here, so in future we can get here straight through the drill tunnel. At this point we also get Drimongmon to join the city. I want to go see what's there to explore on that Gecko Swamp area, so I head there. Turns out that there is another entrance to this Misty Trees area. Here I find this Gabumon who I beat in fight and convince it to join the city. Drimongmon and Gabumon offers treasure hunt service in the city, which sends them to explore some underground areas to find items for us. I sent Drimongmon to its way to do just that. It costs a lot, so I hope this is worth the money. Next, I venture into Freezeland to search the areas I have not before. From this area I find Penguinmon who wants to play curling with us. Okay, so another minigame which I probably will suck at. And yeah, that's the case, but not because the game is bad or anything like that, I just could not figure it out on the first try. If I want to rematch Penguinmon, it wants to fish for that. So I guess it's time to learn the fishing now. Thankfully there is this tutorial text at Dragon Eye Lake. After reading it through, I understand how this works and catch myself a couple of fish. The next curling attempt is really close game and I was pretty sure that I could not win it, but on the last turn Penguinmon screws up, which gives me the victory. Penguinmon joins the city, but I don't find it anywhere. Oh well, it's here somewhere, that's good enough for me. For now I'm googling that what I can do at the moment. I've seen this hint about some guardian of the lake on Shelmon's news, and apparently that guardian is Jijimon. Which you fish from the lake? Okay, let's go give that a shot. After way too long time and too many tries, I do indeed fish a Jijimon. I say to it that let's be friends, and it gives me a flute that allows me to summon it to lake in the future. It is basically the only way to get to this area Beetleland, which we can now explore. Unfortunately though, Greymon's life comes to an end before I can get to Beetleland. I take new Bodamon hoping to get new Greymon, but this one ends up Digivolving to Gabumon and from there to Drimongmon. Okay, guess I'll work with that then. Well, it did not take long for the Drimongmon to Digivolve to Sukamon. I don't even know anymore at this point. So, new attempt and this time I get the Greymon. I train it a bit and travel to Beetleland. This place is much smaller than I expected. Seems there is just some arena and trading areas around it. From the right side area I am able to recruit Kuwagamon to join the city. It went to the green gym and upgraded some of the equipment so we get more efficient training. Nice. I do a bit more training and then it is finally time to take on that goddamn Greymon. This time around I am much more prepared though, so in time the Greymon goes down. It goes and sets up arena here in the city. Also, apparently Penguinmon used the chance to build a curling area to the arena as well. Next I head back to Beetleland because I think I can recruit a couple Dejimon from there as well, but last time none of them were interested about our city. With our newly founded arena though, one of the couple Dejimon joins the city. It goes to the green gym as well and upgrades some equipment as well. Well, this should make trading a bit faster at least. Then I finally managed to earn enough profits for Monochromon for it to join the city. It opens a shop there which gives us access to more items now, including portable potties, which is good. Maybe now my Digimon won't end up pooping around everywhere. It's hilarious though that poop never disappears, constantly reminding that yep, this is where you pooped, remember? Also, after a day of work in Monochrome shop, Greymon dies. Now that's relatable. Yuramon in the village tells me something good could happen if I travel through mist in the morning. It sounds like to me that I have to go to Misty Trees in the morning. And it works out, I found this Kokatorimon from the area. At first I thought it was glitching, I mean, look at this, but I end up fighting it and that gets it to join the city. It builds this statue... handsome? Next I head to Gear Savannah as there was mention about some shop here on the Selmon's board. I end up finding the shop quite easily and they sell some sort of collectible cards here. And also some regular items as well. I also find this Biomon in Gear Savannah which keeps running away from me. After cornering Biomon, with random luck I suppose, I get it to join the city. Next I go to Gecko Swamp as Junimon mentioned something about some Digimon trying to trick me here. I find this Otamamon who keeps bad-mouthing me. That's pretty rude, so I kick its ass, but indeed it was a trap and a group of Gegomon appears to take me to their leader, Shogun Gegomon. He thankfully wants only to help me, it seems, so not much of a trap then. He tells us that Digimon called Jijimon is the one behind the mist in the misty trees, and asks us to get rid of the mist. It casts some spell on us which apparently lets us navigate through the misty trees to find the Jijimon. I was exploring misty trees area before, but always ended up going in circles, so I guess this will let me find the correct way then. So, I go explore misty trees again and holy shit, what in the hell happened to Jijimon? I mean, it definitely is not quite the Jijimon I know. Well anyway, it gives us some history lesson about Digimon World and then proceeds to remove the mist. It tells me that there are also other Digimon in the forest who remember stuff about history. Afterwards I found this toy town area, but there doesn't seem to be anything here at the moment. There is this Monchamon which my Greymon cannot fit into, so I guess this is something I could do with another Digimon. I'm a little bit unsure what to do next. Yuramon is talking about some Digimon appearing in Freezeland. I find information from interwebs that if I get my Digimon sick in the Freezeland, a Frigimon should appear there. So that's exactly what I do. Greymon gets sick, collapses to the ground, and we wake up in Frigimon's house. Frigimon is not happy that I brought Greymon to this cold place, and I apparently declare to Digivolve Greymon to something else. Maybe if I show Frigimon a Digimon that can handle cold weather, that gets it to join the city. Oh, also, I don't know why, but this Piximon spawned out of nowhere. When I talk to it, it wants to fight. Okay, sure, I'll give it a shot. Well, that went well. Anyway, after getting new Digimon, Leomon again in this case, I go talk to Frigimon and it decides to join the city. Next, I head back to Amidala Forest because I wanna deal with whatever keeps shooting me there. I can see that there is a way to proceed forward without getting hit all the time. After a while, I finally get to the end and Centaurumon reveals itself. It just joins the city immediately and I head off to new area, Eastern Dino region. Here, we right away face off Tyrannomon who is guarding the place. After beating it, Tyrannomon explains about this place and how it is divided in two areas. First one is here, where the dinosaur Digimon are chilling, and where apparently time goes slower than normally. Other area is vice versa, so time goes much faster. And I can actually see that to be the case when looking at the timer. Here it goes slower indeed. Once I head to the entrance of the area, Tyrannomon is there to block our path. We convince it to let us enter through as we promise to go investigate a meteor that has fallen from the skies. And as expected, here time goes much faster, so I better hurry along. Enemies here are thankfully quite easy for Leomon to handle, and after a little while we find the meteor, which in fact turns out to be a Meteormon. I battle him quickly and it just rolls off to somewhere. Once I arrive to Tyrannomon, a Master Tyrannomon, which looks a lot like Dark Tyrannomon to me, but okay, appears and tells Tyrannomon to go join the city. I return to the city as well, as I can't see anything else to do here. For now, I am again not sure where to progress. I go around some old areas to see if I have missed anything. This Gekomon here joins the arena and I get this Elecmon to join the city, but that's pretty much it. Also, this Sukamon that I spoke earlier appears in the city, but it did not officially join the city, at least yet. Yuramon is talking about some big Digimon in Lake to North, so I go explore the Freezelands. I pray myself to go deeper to the Ice Sanctuary, but turns out there is really nothing here at the moment, just some training you can do. I head back to the lake area and here I find this Swamon I have completely missed before. It tells me that some baddies have taken over its cave, so we offer to help it to get rid of them. Turns out that it's Ogremon again, so another fight with it I guess. Though this time it has also Wārudo for help. I was sure that this was a doomed fight for us, but actually it's not. I have plenty of recovery items, and Wārudo is acting a bit stupid. It's using all these AoE attacks which hurts its own allies all the time. So Leomon didn't even have to fight much and already Gabumon and Ogremon were down. Wārudo still put up a quiet fight, but in time we took it down. Ogremon runs off once again and Wamon joins now the city. It now offers the transportation help at the city and I can see a new area on its list where it could take us. So, off we are to Factorial Town. Place is crawling with Geremon, Guardamon and even Platinum Sukamon. They are thankfully nothing we can handle. From these sewers I find this Numemon who seems to be feeling sick from all the waste. Huh, didn't know that could happen to Numemon. Anyway, to help it we need to figure out what is going on. These two Guardamon here are not letting me go further without permission from their boss, which is Andromon here. Andromon unfortunately does not believe there is any issue with the waste and does not give us permission. Apparently these Guardamon has shift change at midnight and at noon, so I guess I have to wait until the right time. I try to wait around close by, but no matter what time I go back, the Guardamon are always there blocking the path. In the end, Leomon dies before we get in. Well, have to try again later then. So, I am training Agumon and this time it digivolves to Centeromon. I will try to grind to Ultimate, Ultramon to be precise, so wish me luck! Cue the training montage! Alright, here we go. I achieved all the requirements. And I get the Andromon. Finally! My patience on learning is being rewarded. Andromon is really good at fighting. It is easily handling all the enemies at the factorial town. I finally am also able to get the right time window and get in the factory itself. After venturing here a bit, I encountered this Jijimon who is wrecking the place. Time to test out Andromon's true might with Ultimate vs Ultimate fight. And it goes really well. Jijimon has a lot of HP, but is not hurting Andromon too much, so with the recovery items and a bit of time, it goes down. I now head back to Andromon who admits to being in the wrong here and shuts down the factory. This cleans up the sewers and Numemon's life is saved. It wants to fight us quickly for some reason and then it joins the city. Andromon tells me something about some lost data which it will try to recover, but apparently that will take some time. Have to return here later to check on it, I guess. At the city, Numemon opened a secret item shop which seems to sell some kind of enemy repellent. And I think the bell does vice versa effect, so it attracts enemies. Well, for now this seems to be nothing I would need. I head to explore and when I get to Drill Tunnel entrance it seems that something is going on here. This merchant dude comes to me and wants me to deal with it. Once I go in, we meet Ogremon once more. This time it only has 2 Agumon with it, so this fight is just easy to handle. Surprisingly for me, this gets Ogremon to join the city. I was expecting that I just at some point beat it for good and that's that. Well, I'll take that then. I return to the Andromon at the factorial town and its data recovery is complete. It tells us something about some humans who had come to Digimon World in the past and apparently fought Digimon. Andromon also joins the city now, so pretty good progress again for me. Next up, we found the Digimon again in the Tropic Jungle and fight against it. It is kind of tough battle, but as usual we win in the end. I return back to the city and damn! Jijimon's house got upgraded. It actually tells us now that the way to Mount Infinity, the final place of the game, is now open, and I could apparently go now finish the game whenever I want. Well, that was pretty sudden. I thought for sure that I have ways to go before the final place, and I do feel like I have some stuff to do before I want to finish the game. First thing is that Leomon. I checked from the interwebs that with my current city prosperity I can go to Drill Tunnel and find this ancient Leomon temple from there. At the altar I found tablet or something like that and I go give it to Leomon. The item just literally reads go to the city, which is just most hilarious thing an ancient tablet from ancestors could say. Well, that gets Leomon to join the city, so I'm not complaining. Andromon is closing in the end of its life, I feel, so before that, let's go see what kind of place this Mount Infinity is, so I can see how strong Digimon I would need there. Digimon here are kinda strong, and Andromon struggles a bit, especially with Garurumon, or Gururumon, hard to say which ones these are, because of all the freeze hacks. So I'm burning through my healing items quickly. I find this Dejimon here, which I beat, and it just then runs off somewhere. That was pretty random. In the end, Andromon's life comes to an end. Alright, this time I'm going to do something I thought I would never do willingly. I am going to get Numemon. That's right, the one thing I have grown to loathe and just hate during this playthrough. Reason is as follows. Previously, Shogun Gegamon has told me that Numemon can actually go inside that lifeless Monchaimon in the Toy Town, and that just straight digivolves Numemon to Monchaimon. Now this is not something that is required of me to do, but as I know that will apparently trigger something at the Toy Town after that, I want to go see what happens. Okay. I have no words to what happened next. I trained Agumon, made sure the brains would stay below 100 so that it evolved to Digimon. But I guess I trained other stats too much because in the end it digivolved to Tyrannomon. I actually failed to get Numemon, the absolute worst thing in the game. I don't know what to do with this Tyrannomon. Should I just wait it to die or try to progress with it? In the end I decided to try to get it to digivolve to Metal Greymon, but alas, it's all in vain. For the first time during this playthrough I start to get thoughts of just giving up with this game. Next time I get the Numemon though, I just had to tell myself not to train Agumon so it won't get too good stats. Now I can finally go to Toy Town, where I interact with this Monsaimon suite and Numemon enters it, digivolving to Monsaimon. Thankfully, the stat gains from this Digivolution is pretty big, so even that Numemon was really weak, this Monsaimon looks pretty good fighter. Next I go talk to Digimon, who opens the door to the mansion area here. I fight some Toy Agumon here and they are more stronger than I anticipated. I know that I have to face Waru Monsaimon here, so if we are to face it, Monsaimon needs to become stronger. So if we are to train, after some training it's time to take on the Toy Mansion. This time I'm able to circle around the Toy Agumon and only one of these Tankmon wants to fight, and it is pretty easy. I circle around this Clear Agumon as well. At the end we find Waru Monsaimon and fight begins. Seems like I overestimated this thing a bit and after a while it goes down. We take back the Digimon it had kidnapped and return to Tinmon. Hagurumon takes its place in machinery and we get Monsaimon or its suite to join the city. I also have been able to save enough money to buy this training manual from Piximon. This should boost the effect of training so makes grinding more easy basically. For now, I keep exploring the Mount Infinity with Monsaimon, grinding money and returning to city once in a while to buy more items and some training as well. Fights in Mount Infinity are not hard to win, but doing many fights back to back tends to wear out our recovery items too much, so I start learning a path around fights so I can make progress with as little damage taken as possible. In time, I end up finding this Megadramon who I can challenge to fight. I hesitate a bit but decided then to take the challenge to see how strong Monsaimon is at the moment. And I'm a bit surprised to see that I can actually win this fight. Megadramon has a lot of HP, but I attack aggressively and with recovery items it does not end up being too difficult fight. Megadramon goes somewhere and I move forward. On the next room I encounter Metal Greymon. I know this is not final fight here, but it seems that it is guarding the path to final boss, so I need to beat it. Metal Greymon has more HP than Megadramon, but fight starts off pretty good with Monsaimon being able to handle its own against Metal Greymon. It is still dealing quite a lot of damage against us, which makes me burn my recovery items quickly. In time though, I am able to get the victory first try. For now, I am low on items, so I return to city to make preparations. I'm not 100% sure if next up is the final fight, and if it is, can I even beat it, but I want to go check and see what happens. So, through the Mount Infinity dungeon once again, and through this pathway. Here we meet another human. He calls himself Analog Man, which sounds really bad villain name to be honest. He has been plotting on taking over the digital world it seems, and it's my job now to stop his plans. He summons something very scary. The Machine Dramon. Mega Digimon who I have to face with my Monsaimon. If you for some reason don't know the lore behind Machine Dramon, it is an ultimate killing monster built from parts of other Machine Digimon. Sounds like a perfect final boss for me. Now, Machine Dramon has over 10k HP and that scares me a lot. It also deals crazy amount of damage against us. Oh boy, not sure if Monsaimon can pull this off. There is however one thing that has carried us this far which can get us through here. The Megalo Spark attack. Seriously, this attack is crazy good. It has chance to paralyze the enemy and it does do it rather frequently. So every time Machine Dramon here gets paralyzed, it's perfect time to mash in as much damage as possible. It's still slow grind with that HP bar, but it's wiggling down slowly but surely. Thankfully, we are still more lucky with our paralyzes than Machine Dramon is. Machine Dramon has really strong ultimate attack, but Monsaimon was thankfully almost full HP when taking that, so it survived the attack. Machine Dramon is already low on HP, just a couple more hits and boom! The fight is over and Machine Dramon has been defeated. Ironically, with the Digimon I got from a freaking Numemon of all things. I don't know if I'm crying tears of joy or sorrow at this point, honestly. Analog Man apparently tries to blow up the whole place, but our Digimon pals from the city stops that somehow and I escape through the portal back to the city. For some reason, I have to now suddenly leave the digital world and go back to real world. Well, that's the plot, so I guess that's that then. Farewell, Sagera. You were a worthy partner. Sorry I did not get you to toilet every time, and sorry that I sometimes may have starved you to death. You know how it is with the constant grinding between life and death. Well anyway, that's my adventure with the Digimon World, folks. Honestly, I have mixed feelings about this experience, but mostly positive things come to my mind. Only regret that comes to my mind is that I never got Metal Greymon I was planning to, as the game just came to its end so naturally. I also probably missed a lot of stuff like that one mansion I was not able to enter. But hey, this was never meant to be a 100% playthrough, and I feel like I got what I wanted from the game. I must admit though that I don't think I would have enjoyed this game before playing the next order. That game gave me so much information that I could translate to this game, which helped a lot. If you have never played Digimon games but would like to get into them, then I do not recommend starting with this one. My personal recommendation for the start would be the Digimon World DS for the Nintendo DS. I mean, that's the game that I started with back in the day anyway. Alright, so that's this game crossed out of my backlogs. If you want to see more Digimon stuff on this channel, let me know your ideas in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like. Also, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel for support. But hey, for now that's all for me. Thank you for watching, I will see you in the future videos, and for now it's a bye bye.